Cheekface. That
We've all
is.
got them.
What did you just call me?
I called you a little bitch. Cheekface is the name of the group.
Rude.
Too Much to Ask is the name of the album.
Great Arctic Monkeys B-side.
Indeed.
Solid.
Indeed. We're not covering Arctic Monkeys though. We're covering Cheekface, like I've said. We're going to go through it track by track. Should be relatively straightforward to do this because, we're professionals after all. The name of this first song is When Life Hands You Problems. Great chorus in this, I thought.
Yep.
Fantastic chorus.
Crazy Taxi vibes. Loved it. What an opener to an album.
I also love it when that when the chorus comes in and he starts it reminded me instantly of the Cribs. That just the first when he sings problems.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I like that. I think it's a solid song. I think it's got solid lyrics. And I like the way the chorus is sung as well. I don't think there's anything from the previous stuff that's that kind of energetic. Which maybe carries on.
Maybe. Who knows? Moving on. We Need a Bigger Dumpster. We covered this. Seems like ages ago.
It does feel like a long time ago. Yeah.
I really liked this when we covered it at the time. I'll tell you what, boys. I still fucking love it. Fantastic. Lyrical content, top tier. And I just love the melody of it. Another great chorus.
I was not mad on this when we covered it as a single, and I'm still not really mad on it now.
You bitch.
I think the lyrical content. Fuck off. The lyrical content. I've never once denied the lyrical content to Cheekface is brilliant. The song has grown on me a little bit, but still one of my least favorites on the record. Some of the melodic choices are just a bit too much to bear sometimes, which isn't a problem that carries on into the album. Just this song.
Well, I agree with you, Yanni, that I disagree with Callum because that's the right choice in this fight. I think this song is really good. Really enjoy listening to it, and I really love after the first "Everything is fine, everything is fine" when that guitar comes in, that kind of odd rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that just sounds so satisfying to listen to.
Satisfaction achieved.
Satisfaction. Yeah.
Next up, we have Pledge Drive. I believe this is another single we covered.
Yep.
I believe that because the problems I had with it when we covered it still ring true, unfortunately, about the lines not quite fitting and him having to rush them in still annoys me. However, if I'm going to be nice, which I will be, the music sounds great.
The music does sound great. The bass is fantastic. The backing vocals were a lovely addition. Another great chorus. Another great tune.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with the positive side. I think the music's great. The bass and stuff is really good. I actually think for me this is one of the weaker songs on this album, which says a lot. But yeah, I just think there's not much of a hook to this one that really keeps me. There's no good single on chorus or whatever that a lot of them have. But yeah, really love the sound of the bass and the backing vocals and stuff like that. Really good in this one.
Speaking of bass, the next song, I Feel So Weird! Exclamation Mark. Lovely bass line. Lovely. It also has a sort of key change with the bass in the verse, which is nice. Yes. Good song. Solid song.
Very solid song. Two of my favorite lines from this album are home in this song. One of them is the difference between me and a dog is that I'm taller. Yep. Fantastic line. And it's the 10-year anniversary from everything 10 years ago. Fantastic. Just two brilliant lines.
Right. Callum,
unreal.
Exactly the same. I had exactly the same thing in my mind.
Fantastic.
Especially the thing about being taller than dogs is just wonderful.
Absolutely.
Just inspired songwriting.
Correct. And I also like the venture into more actual singing in this track. It was a nice change.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everyone. I also love the key change with the bass in the verses. That really made my peaked my peaky prick, and piqued my prick, and I just love that he's just started shouting stuff. I think that's really made the difference. Just start shouting. Don't bother speaking. Don't bother singing. Shout stuff.
If your heart's beating, shout.
Shout.
Let it all out.
Love it.
Next up, we have featured singer. I thought this one was a little bit too repetitive. But the elements of the track I enjoyed. I just heard too much of those elements.
Yeah, I think this is probably. Sorry if the listeners heard a bang on my microphone then. I think this is one of the best structured songs on the record. It's not one of my favourites, but I think the structure is very good. It is a big tune. The bass is great again. Vibes.
Yeah, I really like this one. I get the whole. I can get. Sorry, what was your point again, Yanni? I wanted to be accurate here in what you said.
I said it was too repetitive, but
yep.
I enjoyed the individual musical elements that made up the repetitiveness.
Thank you so much for repeating all of it.
I didn't.
Per verbatim, whatever. I agree that it's repetitive and kind of does that for too long, but I think that's a clever play on the fact that he wants to be in an EDM song, and that works, and I like that.
Have we covered this
what
before?
Those songs like?
Yeah, this was another single.
I was pretty sure I said this.
I feel like we've made these same
comments. Deja vu.
But yeah, I like it. I enjoy listening. I think the bass and the guitar are really good throughout. It keeps me bobbing.
Yeah. Next up, we have the it just makes it as a song, Noodles. I say that it's 57 seconds long. After the last one, which I found too repetitive, this was a nail in the coffin for repetitiveness. However, it is only 57 seconds, so I don't know, kind of balances it out. Again, repetitive, but I like the parts that make it so. God damn it, Cheekface, you leave me torn. Call me Natalie.
This
No, call me
this
Natalie.
was the point in the album where I knew I have become a converted cheekfacer. Because this time last year, I'd have wanted to turn this album off at this point. However, now, I loved this. How did I love a man shouting about wanting noodles for a minute and it adding to an album? It really made me want noodles, and I would still like some noodles right now.
A giant cup of noodles.
A giant cup of noodles. But yeah, this is my public apology to Cheekface for all of the nastiness I've said in the past. I am redeemed, reformed.
Beautiful. Very strong Parquet Quartz vibes on this song.
Yeah.
Even just for 57 seconds.
Solid point well made.
Again, thank you so much. And again, just love that he starts shouting. I love it. He's got a great shout voice.
Loud voice.
But when he just starts shouting about the noodles, I agree. I get it, man. Do you know what I mean? It's powerful. That's an emotive message.
I mean,
I want a giant cup of noodles.
Noodles. Let's be honest.
Fucking,
No one in their right minds. Wait. Everyone in their right mind loves noodles. Moving on. Election Day. Feat. Sydney Hish. Don't know who Sydney Hish is. Liam, do you know who Sydney Hish is?
I don't.
Nope.
I don't know everyone, unfortunately.
You sure?
Most people.
Really think about it.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Unfortunately, I've had two songs that I thought were too repetitive, went on for too long. I know the other one was 57 seconds, but whatever. This song, I want more of it, because this one is probably my favourite of the whole album. I bloody well love this one. I love the laid-back feel of it.
Well done, Yanni.
The male-female vocals work together so fucking nicely. And praise, more praise, words of nice, kind things thrown your way.
Yanni, the world agrees. The world wants more. Don't disagree, Colin. We don't need to hear it. I can see you there.
I don't disagree. It was a welcome slower one, and I think with this style of song, or this style of band, a slower one could become awful. and it was not. It's not one of my favourite ones, but I did enjoy it. I will revisit though, and it might become a favourite, but as we stand, it's not.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with the Ioannis in the group. Love this. Yeah, Sydney Gish's vocals, wonderful. Works so well together. The slower pace, wunderbar. Again, Parquet Quartz and slightly Alex G vocalese going on in this, but all good. You okay, Cal?
Yeah, vocally.
And the way they
made me laugh.
The way the chorus is sung about next year in Jerusalem, I just love the sound of it. It's so pleasing to my ear holes. My ear holes are pleased.
That's what we want. Moving on, you always want to bomb the Middle East.
Hate it when that happens.
How you manages to sing this chorus without what seems like taking a breath is beyond me.
Yep.
But one thing I do want to throw out there into the world of the review space is the instrumental in this sounds like a Darwin Dees song.
Yeah. I listened to some Darwin Dees the other day. He's so right. Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. I know Constellations or Radar Detector or whatever, but
it's quite Radar Detector.
I know. But I couldn't help but immediately think of that when I heard it. But yeah, all right, and yeah, it just blows my mind the fact that it sounds like it's all sung in one go. Although it probably isn't, but the way it is, it's very good.
I like to think it is.
The intricacies of this song passed me by, but I've wrote down fantastic stuff, so I must have enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I just enjoyed especially after the slower one. I think one thing about this album, it's structured very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. We didn't mention that really much about the Noodles one, but it's the perfect placement. It's smack bang in the middle of the album, an interlude, just a little refresher there, the cleaning of the palette,
some noodles,
taste of noodles, and then yeah, this one again, this quicker one after the slow one is just great. I feel like this almost could be a Flight of the Conchords song.
Yeah.
And I really like how he sings, we could learn to read and write in Portuguese, and then someone's like, and then in the background, or Korean. I just like that. I like that. I'm a sucker for those little bits. And I want more little bits in my life. That's why I keep you around, Yanni. A little bit.
Nice. Moving on. Friends. Parquet Courts vibes with this one. A lot.
Yep.
Heavy Parquet Courts. Unfortunately, I'm saying that listening to it retrospectively because that doesn't make any sense. But whatever. The song when I listened to it at the time, the first time around, passed me by. But upon further listens now, those are my comments. Have I lost you? I feel like I've lost myself.
No. I agree with you. I agree. I think I said before that I think Pledge Drive is a weaker song. I actually think this is the weakest song, to be honest, because I forgot about this song, and that's kind of speaks for itself. I still think it's a solid song. I didn't think once of skipping it. It's short enough, doesn't make a massive difference. But it just doesn't have anything to really kind of like stand out about it.
Column?
Cool. I thought the chorus was very good. There was a guitar riff. I didn't pinpoint where it came in, which I thought was tip top. It was a good tune. Probably my least favourite on this. Well, maybe not, because Election Day didn't really resonate with me, but I enjoyed it, but it wasn't one of my standouts.
Moving on, next to me in brackets, Yo Guy version. This one, don't know what it was. Well, I mean, it was the guitars, but I don't know what about it in particular. It was so nostalgic for me. Like, I don't know if it was because of the chords, the melody that was used, but something about it, especially when that solo comes in, I just what's you got the music in you that I don't know. It doesn't sound like that, but it's that kind of like nostalgic sort of spacey, dreamy-esque picture that came to mind when I heard it. Great riff at the start, on the guitar, and yeah, it was all right. I think there was enough to it to make me like it. But at this point, I was sort of fading out, and I think it was to do with the voice, which I will say overall, for my liking, is a bit too polished.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it really plays to your point before, Yanni, but this song in particular didn't make me think of it, but there's a few parts of this album where it reminded me of Naughty's Weezer.
Okay.
I got
Like
Weezer
Green
quite a lot
Album,
throughout this album.
kind of round there. Whenever the Green Album came out, to be honest with you, but
2000s, I think.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, I don't know if that kind of plays into a similar thing about the nostalgia to you.
It does. I'll allow it.
Thank you so much for allowing it. But yeah, this song actually, my thought was this could fit on like a Tony Hawk soundtrack.
Again, that might be where the nostalgia comes from then. Yeah.
Again, but I enjoy this one. I like it better when you stand next to me. That chorus hook, just sounds nice in my ears, and also a little voice going "Shut the fuck up." Really good.
Yeah, that was great. That part, incredibly funny. This was one of my favourites on the second half of the album. I thought the vocals were just extremely well done. Yeah. Who would have thunk it, eh? Me praising Cheekface vocals.
Next up is the last song, Vegan Water. Great name for a song.
Fucking vegans are gatekeeping everything, aren't they? They've even got water now.
Bastards.
I'm glad this album is now over because I think I've reached my point of enough of this sound that's going on. Solid blast track. I don't know necessarily if any of these. Maybe Election Day might have been a good closer. Maybe I don't know. I feel like none of these songs worked well as closers. It's kind of weird, but
yeah. How does Cheekface end an album?
Exactly.
I think this works well. I think that the twinkly sound, the kind of twinkly synth sound with I think it ends almost with the female vocals, and I think that's a kind of a nice way to actually end the album. But I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you both. I really liked it as a closer, but I like all these songs, which again I'm just so surprised about.
I think
what a treat.
We're surprised also, to be honest.
Does that leave us with ratings?
It does leave us with the rating part.
I'll go first because I always do. I am giving this an 8.
Solid. Liam.
I worry that you forced my hand here, Callum.
No, do your rating.
I don't know if I'm about to do the
sheep.
I was on. Ratings. It's all very subjective, isn't it? It's at the time
it is
of
your rating, so yes,
discussion.
It is subjective.
But I can't really think of any issues with this album. Really, it's a matter of taste. Is the main thing. However, if it's your taste, no, it's not that. Don't get too excited. I'm going to give it a 9.
Fucking hell.
Just because there's a few moments that aren't quite as good as the others, but I don't really think there's anything wrong with this album. I think it's very, very solid. Third album as well. Basically doing the same thing. How can a band that does the same thing over and over again have their third album be the best album? Because they're the best.
I think it's probably helped me and Cal that we've not listened to the other two in much
We've
detail.
listened to emphatically no. We did it on the podcast.
You can tell how much I paid attention to that, can't you? I'm going to give this a 7. Sorry.
Wow.
Stinker.
Yeah, there was just too many repetitive sort of moments and points where I thought, I wish this was coming to an end. But there were some high points, so that's why it's a 7. I don't need to justify myself.
Shut up, Yanni.
Liam, please give me the average. First of all, I want the average that is the mode, which isn't possible.
There isn't one. It's 8.
Yeah. Median.
It's 8.
Mean.
It's 8.
And the range.
2.
Which is a large one.
We've got 2. Wow. Big 2 for the range
big
boys.
Old 2.
Dos.
You get your ass out, boys.
Indeed.